All right. For everyone that wasn't interested in those conversations, I apologize, but this is what happens. We go on tangents. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I am surprised that season 3 is taking us down the shipping route. I was expecting a little more genocide. Well, season 2 was a lot of genocide and torture, so I guess a little bit of shipping doesn't hurt. So let's kick off episode 3 and see where we're up to. Oh boy.
What is this place?
Our village. Why? Is something the matter?
Kinda looks like the Monument of Ruin.
Sounds like a scary place.
Sure is. If you ask me, it's the scariest part of the whole Great Forest. It's a big building made of wood that's completely surrounded by undead warriors.
Yeah? And whereabouts is it?
Let's talk more once we're inside the village, Goko. Smart idea! Huh?
Walls, undead warriors. Nazarick?
Hey! Good old Annie. You still
Wait.
make the cutest little scream when you're scared.
Wait, so that's a battle maid working in the village to keep tabs on him. Clever.
Oh, Miss Lupus.
I've got an interesting question. What happened to Albedo after her little moment with Ainz? Because typically someone acting out of form like that would be liable for punishment, would they not? Especially, attacking guards and refusing a direct order. Because, you know what I mean? But then when you say probably punished, I mean, Shalti was forced to be a chair, and Ainz, dense like a fucking black hole, didn't realize that she was getting off on that. In the light novel, she was basically grounded for a while. When you say grounded, I mean, what? Because if you sent her to her room, she'll just hump the body pillow. You know what I mean? Like, what was her actual punishment? Did she have to sit in a room by herself for a week or something? Because, I mean, Albedo strikes me as a little bit kinky. Not as kinky as Shaltir, but still, she would interpret certain punishments as... Yeah, she drowned her sorrows in a bar for a while. Really, that bar seems to be getting good business from the girls. Ainz did realize. Really, after that, I sincerely hope he realized that she had a thing for him. I'd say locked in a room without any view of Ainz. Because if she was locked up in the dungeon, who knows, maybe she's into that shit. I mean, that's the thing with these girls, right? They're not exactly... I mean, and Ainz is dense as fuck, so... It doesn't help the situation. Seriously, Ainz, what is your real-life experience? You're kind of sounding like a drone. A corporate drone with absolutely no... Do you work in an IT department? You work in an IT department. See, I managed an IT team. I kind of know what I'm dealing with here. Ainz is denser than your bones. And I drink a lot of dairy.
So spill.
You know what? I actually want to read the chapter when she jumped on him now. Can someone link me the chapter in the light novel where she jumped on him? I would very much like to read it. And I've read 50 Shades of Grey. You should see my copy of 50 Shades of Grey. You know what? After this, I'm going to bring you guys my copy of 50 Shades of Grey. I've marked all the sexual encounters in 50 Shades of Grey. And when I was living at university, one of my neat party tricks was pick a sexual encounter and we would recreate it. Everything except the bath scene because we didn't have a bath at university. But anything other than that, we could recreate. It's amazing. You know what? Never use your silk tie as it ruins it. Don't use a silk tie as don't do it. Ruins the tie. $150 silk tie. God damn it.
How'd this goblin kid end up with you?
Well, I was just...
No! Wait, don't tell me! You stole Envy's girl from right under his nose? Well, isn't this a tragedy? The hopes and dreams of such a pure-hearted boy crushed into the dirt! This is so hilarious! Just kidding.
What did I just miss? What the fuck did I just miss? Do you want the light novel chapter or the manga chapter? Both!
So spill. How'd this goblin kid end up with you?
Well, I was just...
No! Wait, don't tell me! You stole Envy's girl from...
Oh! Oh, she thinks that's their kid. Okay, now I get the joke. Now I get the joke. The game was all he had. That was me with World of Warcraft. I sunk my sorrows of being cheated on into World of Warcraft and became pretty damn good at it. It was all I had. Even, yeah. To bigger and better things.
Well, isn't this a tragedy? The hopes and dreams of such a pure-hearted boy crushed into the dirt! This is so hilarious!
You know what's pretty funny? I don't think the girl realized that the boy actually likes her. You bitch.
Just kidding. So, why'd you bring this thing back with you? Calm down, I'm not gonna eat you.
I found her.
What's that?
Oh, Miss Britta!
We let a hobgoblin inside our walls? Hey, my bad. The thing is, I used to be an adventurer. Kinda hard to get out of that mindset.
But you took an arrow to the knee. Post it in the anime thread.
An adventurer?
That's behind me now.
You know what? DM me. Even better. Thank you.
These days, I'm an apprentice ranger that lives here in the village.
You'll be okay, Agu. Karn Village is a place where goblins and humans live side by side.
That's what it looks like, but I still can't believe it.
Okay, all of us are here, so let's see what the little guy has to say.
Okay, I gotta ask one thing. What the hell is with the hairdo? Like, seriously, what the fuck?
Well, Agu, tell us about this giant of the East.
Sure. Originally, the forest was controlled by the Great Beast of the South and two others. The Giant of the East, and also the Demon Snake of the West.
So, taking the hamster out of the ecosystem basically tipped the scales.
The great beast of the south might be what we called the wise king of the forest.
But then the Great Beast disappeared without a trace, which left the forest out of balance. And not too long after that, something else took its place.
Nice work, Ainz!
That's the Monument of Ruin?
It is. The master of that place controls the undead. We call him the small shadow which burrows in the darkness.
And what does all that have to do with you getting attacked?
The Giant of the East and the Demon Snake of the West are gathering their forces for an attack on the King of Ruin.
Nice work, Ainz!
They seem to want to use all of us goblins as foot soldiers.
The healer maid is extremely sadistic. She usually hides it well. Sadistic, you say? Is that the one with the red hair and the giant sword?
Or as emergency rations. So most of us decided we'd just hide from them. But then...
They must be tough to send your whole tribe into hiding.
If a monster that powerful shows up, there's no point in trying to fight it. We may as well just run with the non-combatants.
If you're in a bind, I could always ask Lord Ainz to help you out. This is our village, so let's protect it ourselves. We won't always be able to rely on his charity.
Okay, seriously, does every female in this anime have big boobs? I'm starting to notice it now. No, wait, Shalty has small boobs. Gotcha.
Well, then maybe we should start by reporting this to the village chief. I'll pay a visit to the Adventurers Guild in Erantel tomorrow and post our situation as a job.
Hey, could I come with you? I've got some herbs to sell.
Oh, sure.
I'll go get the other militia members up to speed.
Speaking of sadism, remember that girl with a sex drive that was higher than mine that I told you about? She was also a masochist. She was the one that said they had a pain threshold that couldn't be broken. So I basically pressed on 3 pressure points. In about 2 minutes, she said, okay, I call quits. And I'm like, ha! I'm a child sometimes. What she was basically saying was you could do anything you want with me. And I was like, I took that literally. She was a crazy one, all right.
Yeah, I'm out too. Probably gonna go wander around the village a bit more before I head home.
Oh, Miss Beta, could I take a bit of your time?
Miss Beta.
If it's not a bother, I was hoping you could take this to Lord Gone. We haven't replicated a fully red potion yet.
Ah, Gon is Ainz.
But I think this is a step in the right direction.
I'm delighted to hear that. I'm sure Lord Ainz will be equally pleased. Wow, I was right to come visit today. Also, feel free to call me Lupusregina. I'll allow it just for you.
So have women always been the leaders here in the Karn tribe?
Huh?
Why does Miss Henry have so much power?
Lupusregina means wolf creek. So what's the name for wolf? It's not lupus, is it?
It's 'cause she can kick our butts in a fight. I've seen Miss Henry beat down a bar guest and break its neck with just one hand. After that, she drained its blood into a cup and drank it.
Lupus is wolf? Really? Lupus is wolf? That's the word they picked for wolf? Lupus? It sounds like a gem. The blonde felt her place be threatened by the redhead.
Seriously?
Are you trying to scare the kid, Goko?
Hey, Agu. That Lupusregina girl is dangerous. So keep your distance.
Find it, chapter 53.2 in manga. If you can link it to me, we might react to it. I'm kind of interested in reading what the hell happened.
What makes her so dangerous?
Trust me on this. Best thing you can do is avoid her attention. Look, I'm telling you this for your own good, okay?
Yeah,
I would like to see her on 3 drinks in a bar fight.
I get it. I gotta say, though, this is one crazy tribe.
You're in for a long, fun life, kid. What the hell is she doing?
Yeah, like, too.
Oh, hello, Jojo.
I'm sorry for waking you.
That's fine. Did something happen?
Well, we searched through the forest, and we managed to find a few members of Agu's tribe.
I'm relieved to hear it. You did great.
But there's more. See, we captured the 5 ogres who were chasing them.
Ogres?
That's right. And well, we told them about the village, and they said they wouldn't mind joining us.
Huh?
So, I have a request for you, Miss Henry. Listen up, ogres. This is our boss, Miss Henry. Your lives are in her hands. So you better show respect and hope she's in a good mood.
You caught the ogres?
Lower your heads at once!
You scary! Please, little master, did not mean to make you mad. We attacked your tribe, but now we're sorry.
You are forgiven. On the condition that you work hard for my tribe.
Oh, wow!
Cowardice disgusts me.
Now I can see why Miss Henry's the leader of Karn Village.
They're all a bunch of simps!
That was scary.
I couldn't tell it from looking at you, though. You know, it's not everyone who can get ogres to accept them as their master.
I'm still just an ordinary village girl. I only did that because Jugum asked me to.
Just wait till they find a giant gorilla that lives in the forest and he kidnaps her.
Honestly, I spent the entire time scared that they would eat me.
I understand. But even though they say all ogres are man-eaters, I think that just means they're carnivores. Since the goblins hunt, I'm sure we'll have plenty of meat for them. So there shouldn't be much risk of them attacking anyone. Besides, at the moment, we need all the help that we can get.
Maybe we should have had them pledge themselves to you.
I think I'm best suited to supporting the frontline fighters. But you can hang back and base your orders on what you see happening.
Yeah, I guess. That makes sense.
And, by the way, about us going to Irantel.
Oh, yeah! I'm nervous about going to the city, but I'll try not to embarrass you.
Sorry.
Why?
I have to heal the goblins we rescued from Agu's tribe, so I won't be able to join you. I really wish I could, though.
Wait, I have to go by myself?
The goblins will escort you all the way to the gate, of course.
But they're not allowed to enter the city, are they? I'll tell you what, I bet I'm the only person in the world in this bind. It's so weird, suddenly having to act like I'm above other people. And on top of that, I have to go visit places I've never been and do things I've never done before.
Oh no! First world white girl problems. Seriously, what anime are we watching?
So, listen. I was really just hoping to solve
First, I'll use detect magic.
Oh my gosh, she just brought medicinal herbs into a city. They think she's a drug dealer.
You'll not make a fool of me. Reveal the magic item you tried to sneak into the city.
Do you mean this thing? What?
Appraisal magic item. What demonic relic is this? It has such an incredible power level that my appraisal spell couldn't measure it. Madness! Impossible! Tell us your true identity, woman!
I thought you seemed suspicious from the start.
Yeah, so did I.
What?
Cease this frail attempt at deception! Tell us how you obtained that artifact, wench!
Well, you see, it was a present I got from Lord Ain's old Gone, a spellcaster who saved my village.
You mean you received such a terrifyingly valuable item for free?
What? Are you saying that this item would be expensive?
Don't play stupid! That horn can summon a horde of foul goblins. Though I don't actually know the exact number, per se.
Goblins?
Yes, it is in equal parts dangerous and valuable. It could be sold for at least 3,000 gold.
No way.
That much?
I could understand if she were an experienced magic user or even just a highly ranked adventurer, but this simply makes no sense. If her claim that she's nothing more than a village girl were true, then she wouldn't have that item. She must be planning something nefarious.
No,
There's no other
I'm telling the
explanation.
truth. I'm just a village girl.
Move, men, arrest her at once.
You're kidding me.
Don't try to resist. No.
We now have the Dark Ages in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to be burned as a witch at the stake.
Sudden moves.
I'm sorry, but you've made a mistake. I'm just a girl from a country village. I don't know anything about magic, I swear.
What's this about?
Well, if it isn't Lord Momon, it's an honor, sir.
What has she done?
Well, sir, she was in possession of a suspicious item.
Inri. Yes, it's Inri Imit, correct?
Yeah. Have we met, sir?
Is this how witch trials were done in the world? Let me give you an example of a witch trial. You take a suspected witch on top of a cliff that's about several hundred meters high, at the bottom of which are stones that lead to the sea. You give the witch a broom and you say, "We will now toss you off this cliff. If you are a witch, you will fly away to safety, and we will chase you down, arrest you, and kill you. If you fall and die, you are not a witch, and God will take you into his bosom." Those were witch trials. Other such witch trials were, quite literally, putting weights on women and throwing them into a lake until they drown. If they drowned, they were not witches, and God would take them into his bosom. If they did, however, free themselves from the shackles and flew away, they are witches, and they would be hunted and killed. So what ended up happening is, well, as you can imagine, if a man slept with another woman and his wife was to catch him, he would tell his wife that the woman was a witch and she had used magic to seduce him. You could kind of see how people could abuse this. Or if, for example, a man really didn't like his wife, he could claim that she was a witch and they would burn her. Or put her through a witch trial. Or if, for example, you wanted a man, but he was married, you could claim that his wife was a witch. Or if you didn't like your next door neighbor, you could claim she was a witch. They would also shave all of the woman's hair, and if they found a beauty mark, she was a witch. Didn't Henry the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th do that to Anne Boleyn? I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, didn't Louis XIV behead like 8 women? Because they wouldn't give him a boy? Even though the gender of the baby is normally determined by the male? Because genetics? Ain's felt a disturbance in the magic, for someone is in a similar situation to himself, thrown into a situation they have no knowledge they're working in. 2, having power they aren't used to. 3, having much expectations thrown on them. Or thrown in a river. If she floats, she's a witch. If she drowns, she was innocent. Well, that was similar to the one that I said that would weigh them down. And if she floated to the top, she's a witch, obviously. Because an innocent person would have drowned to death. Divorced, beheaded, survived. Divorced, beheaded, survived. I mean, Let's face it, it's called the Dark Ages for a reason. They burnt science books because witchcraft. Problem with the river one is the human body naturally floats. That's why they weighed them down. Until they died of drowning. So they're all witches with that one. Ah, yes. How about the one where they would literally torture you until you confessed? And most people would just confess to make the torture stop. And then they were killed because they were witches. Would you like me to DM too? Yes, please.
Oh, you're the gentleman who came to my village with envy, aren't you? But how do you know my name?
Momon, ladies and gentlemen, he knows how not to break his cover. Like that time he almost called Demiurge in season 2.
Do you want to talk? Release the girl at once.
But why would we do that?
I have just been assured that her intentions are good by the adamantite-class adventurer Lord Momon.
Why does he hold Kami's stick?
I understand, sir. Emmett of Karn Village, we grant you entry into Erantel.
Oh, thank you. You guys have a nice day. This is worth 3,000 gold? It's hard to believe that Lord Gon would give these things away if they're that valuable. And I've already used up one of them. Oh.
Greetings. Mr. Momon bade me to ask you a quick question.
Beautiful.
Such flattery will get
Just like Miss Lupusregina.
Why do women in this place not like flattery? Saeb, why won't you take my love?
Oh, that was random. But I guess you just remind me of another pretty person I know. Your personalities are different, but...
You have my thanks.
Huh?
Anyway, on behalf of Mr. Momon, I ask this question. Please answer with haste. Miss Emmett, what business do you have in Erantel?
Well, before I get to that, Mr. Momon's the whole reason I was able to get in. So please let him know that I'm very grateful.
Consider it done. Proceed.
Thank you. So there were a few things I needed to do here. Let's see. First, I'm gonna visit the temple. I plan to see if any of the homeless there would like to move to our village. Then I need to post a job at the Adventurers Guild, sell these medicinal herbs, and purchase supplies.
I understand. Farewell.
What an interesting lady. My village needs defenders against the Giant of the East and Demon Snake of the West.
Both of those creatures are incredibly powerful. I'm afraid that only adamantite-class adventurers can accept your request.
Well, it looks like Momon's about to have a job.
Is one around?
Their services come at a very high price.
Right, doesn't the capital give financial aid for this kind of thing?
Really?
They do. However, that subsidy is only able to cover a portion of the total cost accrued.
Thank you for explaining. Could I get an estimate of what the cost might be?
Give me a moment to calculate it.
Oh boy.
For now, you can take a seat.
Thanks again.
Okay, let's see. Killing 2 deities in the forest. Adamantite level adventurers. Only 0.01% of the total player population can actually do this quest. Risk of death almost certain. Ah, yes. That will be 2 suburbs.
She seemed really annoyed with me. I suppose that makes sense. A customer who can't pay isn't a customer at all. I could always make some money by selling this horn, but I got it as a gift. It would be ungrateful of me to pawn it off like that.
Miss Emmett? Miss Emmett!
Did you just fall asleep?
Miss Henry Emmett of Karn Village, or no, Lady Emmett.
Yes, ma'am?
About your village's request. May I ask for some additional information, please?
Yeah, no problem.
If you find the idea agreeable, we could discuss the details over a drink in the reception room. I'm begging you, tell me every last detail! I shudder at the thought of missing any shred of information!
Okay.
This is what happens when people realize you have money. They start working the shaft as much as they can. Hamster, I love it.
That was exhausting.
Why did she buy weapons? Why didn't she get a blacksmith that can make weapons?
Miss Henry!
The guild lady had so many questions, which is weird because I felt like she blew me off at first.
Sounds like you had a rough time.
On the plus side, the medicinal herbs sold for a great price.
It warms my heart to hear that. Let us join in prayer and thank our God for blessing you on this day. Then let's join as husband and wife.
What? Heard that last part, Coda!
You know, I still feel like I should have accompanied Miss Henry into the city.
Don't be stupid. If one of us goblins tried to enter the city, he'd be killed by the guards immediately.
Heh, I like to see them try.
Don't worry, Miss Henry. I, the mighty Coco, will always protect you, and so will the rest of us.
Oh, that's right. I was planning to wait until we got back home, but actually I think this might be the perfect time. Kaijali,
It's for me?
Goko, Unlai, Nosali, Sweetyo, Kona. I don't know much about weapons, so I got someone from the Adventurers Guild to help me pick them.
Finest sword I've had.
Got a nice heft to it.
This can do some damage. This is a big help. My last sword is just chipped.
Glad to help.
Wow, Miss Henry. You picked these out just for us?
I hope they're to your liking.
These are great gifts, but I don't really feel like we deserve them.
Not only did you risk your lives to keep me safe, you helped me rebuild my home village. I could never do enough to fully repay you for that. I know this isn't much, but I hope you'll accept it. I'll always be grateful for every last one of you.
Hey blacksmith, do you want to leave this safe city to come to our village constantly in danger of being attacked by monsters? We have no building for you and don't know how to make one. You underestimate the powers of You underestimate the powers of an attractive young woman talking to men.
You're so kind.
What happened?
Well, I hope you'll at least consider it.
What happened? What happened?
What happened?
I'm sorry, but I need a little time to think things over right now, Kaijali.
What the fuck?
Hey, yo! Miss Lupusregina! Hi! I'm so glad you're here right now! Take it easy! Someone help! Save me! I'm being assaulted! Oh, what? No, I think she's gonna kill down her! It's just... Oh, I didn't mean to upset you. I was just making a cute little joke. It's fine.
She sounds like the type of girl that would make reports of rape as a joke. I don't like her.
Could I ask for some advice? I'm kind of at my wit's end here. Is something stressing you out? Well, your big sis Lupusregina's got your back, okay? Come on, ask the question. Long story short, the village chief wants me to take over for him.
I'm sorry, but those things are distracting. What the hell? It's like grapefruit hanging from a tree.
A year ago, I was doing chores for my parents. I'd be an awful chief.
And like, look at the size relative to the height. It's like you might accidentally walk into those things.
I'd run the village straight into the ground. The worst part is the whole village got together without me.
She's not only tall, but she's, well endowed. Which, like, you know, most really tall girls don't have, you know, these. But this one's tall and has these. But then again, this one is, like, fun-sized. Forget the conversation. Just imagine burying your face in them. I mean, you know, contrary to popular belief, I am a guy.
And every last one of them agreed that I should do it. It's so ridiculous. So, I should just turn them down, shouldn't I?
That's a toughie. I don't know.
Huh?
I never promised I'd have an answer for you, Henry, just that I'd hear the question. I really can't help you out. I can only say this much. Whoever the village chief may be, they're going to make mistakes.
Oh.
There have only ever been 41 people who could make the perfect choice every time, and none of us can hold a candle to them.
Wait a minute. They asked you to be the village chief? Sorry, I was distracted by your massive boobs. And you're talking about the 41 guild members.
There's no need to worry about whether you'll make mistakes, because you're bound to. That said, out of all the denizens of this village, logically speaking, you're obviously the most qualified candidate for such a position.
Wait, do you really think that?
I do. Why don't you ask that young man what he thinks?
Get a haircut, boy!
It's the ogre's new home. The goblins got together and built it for them.
In just one day?
Yeah, Lord Gon came by and lent us a few stone golems to help out.
That's one more way this village owes him.
So about you becoming chief. Huh? I really think you should do it.
And why is that? I'm just a...
No, you're more than just a village girl. You lead all the goblins, and you're good at it too.
Yeah, but...
When I talked to Mr. Jugem and the others about protecting the village, they told me that push come to shove, they would kidnap you and escape.
What?
He also wanted me to help them find and protect Nemu so that we could all run away together.
Oh.
But look, if you were to become village chief, that would make this your village. Knowing that, the goblins would fight for it. It might not seem like much of a difference, but to them, it really would be.
That magic horn really makes the goblins value their summoner.
If you ask me, that's because of who their summoner is. After all, you value each and every one of them as a unique individual. Of course they treasure you. Instead of using them as slaves, you treat them as partners. It's just that simple.
But it's not like I'm the only person in the village who treats them nicely.
The others aren't rude, but have you ever heard them call a goblin by his name? I know I haven't.
Meanwhile, I can't even remember my co-workers' names. Holy shit.
Me neither.
That's how it is. If my opinion matters to you, I think you would be good at this kind of thing. And if you become chief, you'll unite humans and goblins under one leader.
Well, I suppose everybody would help me, right?
Of course.
All right then. Thanks for the advice. I'm on my way to talk to the village chief. Once a choice has been made, there's no point delaying.
Okay. I'm rooting for you, Henry.
Just as I thought. She really is doing it. This is so exciting.
Lupus, Lord Ainz has called for you.
Oh, well, if it isn't my big sis Yuri.
And what is it that has you in such a pleasant mood?
Just now, a new leader has been born in this village. One with great potential. Why, she could change history. Unless something wicked was to come along and snuff out her spark just as it was about to kindle. I wonder what kind of expressions those villagers would make. Just the thought of them screaming out as they're crushed underfoot like insects makes me tremble with excitement.
My. You are a sadistic creature.
Yeah, I guess I am. I just really hope this village burns.
Wow. Definitely keep the personality of all characters that we meet secret. Because had you guys not told me that she was sadistic, my reaction to that might have been a little bit more, well, reactive. So yeah, don't tell me anything about characters that hasn't been revealed yet, because it's kind of just watering down the reaction portion. Because I knew she was sadistic, so it wasn't a surprise. Huh. Interesting. All that because he gifted a goblin summoning horn and gave a few potions. Amazing how a small ripple can create a whirlpool. Very interesting indeed. Alright, let's take a little break and then we'll watch the next episode. But yeah, definitely tell me absolutely nothing about character personalities. It's just spoiling it. It really is. That would have been a fun reaction had I not known about her sadism. It would have been really fun, but you know, the way of the dodo bird.
Hey, did I hand you a shrinking potion by accident? I could have sworn that was the gender swapping one.
Don't be hating. She's fun sized, that's all. She doesn't even have to get on her knees to blow.
You want to add anything to that conversation?
Nope, I'm good. In fact, I think your new size makes you an even more formidable and stealthy ninja.